Hello boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the Canadian Grand Prix here at the Montreal circuit, Notre Dame, the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, Montreal, Canada. They are qualifying now for the race that will take place over 26 laps of this circuit. It's a very easy circuit, but a lot of challenges. It's a challenge on the brakes. It's going to be tough for everyone really, and qualifying is key on this track because there's not much overtaking that happens on this track, but we shall soon see what will happen. We have De La Rosa and Paul, the Jaguar 1-2, Renault 3-4. Hakkinen just jumped into 5th, Takagi 6th, Bertie 7th, and Raikkonen's currently in 8th, Montoya 9th. Schumacher rounds off the top 10 with Webber, Schumacher. Oh, hang on, it's just forever changing. You can't really keep track of what's happening because it's just all forever changing. The top 13 covered by 0.579 4 seconds now. Still just popped up there. That with Heidfeld up into 3rd. 1,000th away from Eddie Irvine in 2nd. It is super tight. 0.042 seconds separate the top 4. It's going to be a very close race, but the track is really hard to overtake. There hasn't been much action happening at the track over the past couple of seasons, so we shall soon see what will happen. Heidfeld doesn't improve. So, De La Rosa on pole, Irvine 2nd, Heidfeld 3rd, Fisichella 4th, Bertie 5th, Alesi 6th, Young 7th, Button 8th, Coulthard 9th, Hakkinen 10th. They are your top 10. 11th through to 20th is Takagi, Raikkonen, Webber, Ralph Schumacher, Hill, Montoya, Frentzen, Schumacher, Barrichello and Alonso. The top 18 are all covered by 0.6 seconds. That is how tight it is here at the Canadian Montreal Gilles Villeneuve circuit. Here the hairpin has seen plenty of drama happen. Here is the starting grid. It's a very tight grid, very short run to the first corner. The Canadian air is going to light up with fumes now, and De La Rosa gets off to a good start. Irvine consolidates 2nd place. Heidfeld's going to dive up this night. It's going to be Bertie that dives up on the inside. He's going to go alongside Heidfeld, but Heidfeld's going to keep the position as it snails back around down towards turn 3. We go. De La Rosa pulled off slightly against his British teammate. Irvine's in 2nd, Heidfeld 3rd, Bertie 4th. Good start. Fisichella 5th, Alesi 6th. Noah's Ark there for the top 6. Button 7th, Young 8th. Coulthard and Hakkinen right next to each other in 9th and 10th. Takagi 11th, Webber 12th, Raikkonen 13th, Ralph Schumacher 14th, Damon Hill 15th, Montoya 16th. It is Frentzen 17th, Michael Schumacher 18th, Barrichello 19th, Alonso 20th. All 20 cars have gone off of the grid. As we are going around, this is turn 7 down towards turn 8 and 9. You brake just underneath where that shadow is. Obviously if it's wet it's a little bit harder because there's no shadow. Down towards the hairpin. Irvine's in 2nd. The top 3 have pulled away slightly from Bertie. Bertie holding people up. Heidfeld goes down the inside of Irvine. Nothing there. And that is Button taking an overtake on the lazy. He's up into 6th place. Accelerating down the back straight towards the famous chicane. The chicane itself doesn't have a name, but the wall certainly does. The wall of champions. It gets right close up to the wall. It's a big curve, but it didn't get a slow car down too much. They all go over to the left. To get as tight of a line here towards turn 1. Ralph Schumacher down to 15th. Montoya 16th. Frentzen 17th. Barrichello 18th. Michael Schumacher's just falling. And that is an engine failure for Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya's engine's letting go. It's a huge trail of smoke, and there's already yellow flag somewhere else. It looks like a traffic jam in front. It is. Oh, it is a traffic jam. Someone else has lost a wheel. Oh, what on earth has happened there? It's Bertie. Bertie was in fourth. He's out. Takagi's out. What on earth happened there? That was crazy. This is happening. Coulthard just drove right into the path of Rubens Barrichello. Frentzen still following Montoya. Montoya's still having his own engine failure. Frentzen is very close to Montoya. Is Frentzen going to go down the inside? He is. Is he going to make that move stick on Montoya? He is. Montoya still having an engine. Oh, there we are. The engines let go. The engines let go in the middle of the circuit. Or are they going to get through? Michael Schumacher's having to take avoiding. They've all took avoiding action on the grass. What on earth has happened at the start there? Here we go. So Bertie. So Fisichella goes down the inside. It's a small tap from Fisichella. Button crashes. They've all crashed into the back. Young, Coulthard, Takagi all involved there. And then Coulthard has just driven straight into Barrichello. Almost like he wasn't there. That is a serious accident. And the top four have all pulled away significantly now because of it. And De La Rosa and Irvine have a huge lead. Heitfeld also in that group. But that is one of the worst things I've seen for quite some time. Especially from David Coulthard. Just drove straight into the path of Barrichello. Just lucky that neither of them two were affected too much. They both lost their front wing, but they're both still in the race. And now the top 13 are all well clear of all this slot. That is Hill trying to go around the outside of a lazy. Barrichello and Coulthard 53 and 56 seconds behind now after the excursion into the pit lane. Everyone's so spread out now because of all this. Hill tried to go around the outside of the Renault, but nothing happening there. What a drama at the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. All triggered by Fisichella spinning Bertie into the wall. Hill trying to challenge Fisichella as they come towards first turn, and a lazy cuts the door. Young in 8th, just watching the action of Hakkinen in 9th, Webber 10th, Raikkonen 11th. Part of the circuit's too slow for anything to happen. Ralf Schumacher 12th, Heinz-Harald Frentzen 13th. Down towards, this is turn 5. Michael Schumacher 14th at the moment, 15th is Alonso, 16th. Well, Daniel de Rubens Barrichello, 17th Coulthard. So far a retirement of Montoya. He had an engine failure, Montoya. He wasn't even involved in all that accident. Bertie, Takagi, 19th, 20th. Jordan, ready to service one of their cars. But this is actually a scheduled pit stop. This is not even an early pit stop. I wonder who it's for. It's going to be Nick Heidfeld. Heidfeld, that's turn 3s and 4s, is negotiated turn 5 now. He's the closest to challenging the Jaguars. I'm trying to get the standings up here, and I just The race, it's too interesting at the moment to get the standings up. So I want to see how that has massive implications in the title race. Not yet. Fisichella leads on 25 points. Webber's in second on 20. Button's on 17. De La Rosa next on 15. Irvine's actually not in the top 10 at all. Top 10 is rounded off by Ralf Schumacher in 5 points. So it was Hill that pitted for the Jordan, a very early pit stop for the Jordan team. I presume he'd be back out in front of Michael Schumacher, but I would be surprised if he's behind Michael Schumacher. So Bertie 5th, Coulthard 6th, neither of them two are going to be scoring points at all. Alazy 7th, he looks alright to score points. Frentzen 8th, Hakkinen 9th, Ralf Schumacher 10th. Hakkinen's currently in the points, so 2 arrows outside the points. You, at the moment, wouldn't think that they're going to score points, but 9th, 10th, they're very close to each other, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. There is Ralf Schumacher and Frentzen for the 2 arrows. The Ralf Schumacher just keeping an eye on the 2 Saubers, making sure to keep them honest. Alonso's 13th, Michael Schumacher 14th. So Hill is behind these two. There's Hill, he's 2 seconds back. There's Hill after his early pit stop. Hill's currently 14th in the standings. We've got Irvine 11th, Montoya 12th, Raikkonen 13th, Hill 14th, Alonso 15th. They're the point scorers. Nick Heidfeld still hasn't scored a single point. At the moment, he looks to be scoring a 3rd place, but there's still time. The 2 Ferraris and the 2 Bernardis haven't scored points yet. I'd be very surprised if the Ferraris score in this position. Minardi, they've currently got Young in 8th, but they usually fall by the wayside. So I can't see anything happening there. Irvine with the fastest lap of the race. In the constructors, Renault lead 36 points. Coulthard loses in front. Wing is in the same position as the pile-up. I think he's tried to overtake Barrichello and he's just become a huge shocker. In fact, the leaders are going to be right behind him. So as Barrichello has tried to overtake it, isn't the cause of all the problems at the moment. Coulthard, that is a very tame spin, and I think he's just going to drive straight into the barrier. And now all the leaders are coming up towards David Coulthard. He's going to be really slow coming through this corner. Oh, they're going to be Constantina's now. It might give a helping hand to all the drivers behind. Is Coulthard going to let them past? Not at the moment. Coulthard is not letting them past. And Eddie Irvine's just dived straight down the inside. Heidfeld's gone down the inside. De La Rosa just lost 2 positions, staying behind Coulthard, and he's still behind Coulthard. He's still behind Coulthard. Coulthard's just not letting him through. De La Rosa is losing loads of time. There goes De La Rosa. Look at the time he's lost. De La Rosa from 1st to 3rd. And he's lost loads of time. Eddie Irvine leads the Grand Prix. Heidfeld's in 2nd. The 2 rookies, 1st and 2nd. Fernando Alonso's retired now. I don't even know which position Alonso was in. I believe he was one of the back markers. That's the Jaguar. So De La Rosa's actually gone into the pits. He's actually followed Coulthard into the pits. So where he goes, where's he going to end up? So Webber. So that's the Webber. That's the 2 Saab. Oh, Coulthard's right in front of De La Rosa. Frentzen's gone past. Is Frentzen going to still be in front of... Oh, that was very close. Yes, De La Rosa's in front of Frentzen. But De La Rosa's going to be heavier. Here is Alonso, which Schumacher is come to terms with. And that's a spin. And I think he's going to... Oh, no, Hill has retired him for him. Hill has put Alonso out of the race. Turns 5 and 6, causing loads of problems for the drivers. And I think they're going to have to think about reconfiguring that corner because that is causing loads of trouble. Hill going down the inside of Michael Schumacher. I think Michael Schumacher is about to become the next person to face the wrath of that corner. De La Rosa is in 11th, Coulthard's in 17th and lapped. Ralf Schumacher in 10th, 9th Raikkonen, 8th Webber. Lazy's in 7th place. Hakkinen 6th. 5th place Young. 4th place Button. 3rd place now is Giancarlo Fisichella, championship leader. Nick Heidfeld, the fastest lap, is 8 seconds in front of Fisichella. Out in front though, Eddie Irvine in the Jaguar. Through the chicane. Accelerating now down towards the fearsome turns 5 and 6. Heidfeld not taking the risk of trying to overtake. Down towards, this is a very difficult corner. Jaguar ready in the pits. Heidfeld had a little look in trying to overtake Irvine. Irvine's ready to go into the pits, so Heidfeld will take over the race lead. Is Heidfeld going to go into the pits? I can't see the BAR. Minardi ready, so that'll be for Young. I can't see the BAR mechanics ready to go into the pits. So Irvine goes straight into the pits.
Eddie Irvine, the race leader, is entering the pits now.
Fuel hose goes in. How much fuel are they going to put into that Jaguar? I assume he's 2-stopping. He'll probably stop again at around that 18, 19. Fuel still goes in. Away goes Irvine. Lazy's gone past Young in the pits. I think he's going to be ahead of the Saubers. Where even are they? They are miles away. Irvine is comfortable. Although you'd expect them to be comfortable, especially with all the drama of that happened. Button's third. Fisichella second. BAR ready, so Heidfeld next to go into the pits. Up through the gears, Heidfeld. McLaren are ready as well. Loads of drivers pitting on lap 10. Heidfeld, the race leader, in the pits. This will promote Fisichella into the lead. I believe he's not stopping. I don't remember. I don't actually remember if they announced he was stopping or not. I don't think he is. No, he didn't pit. It's the other two drivers behind that have pitted. Is Button going to hold the BAR up? It's not. It's going to be Coulthard that holds him up. That's going to promote Irvine surely into the race lead. Hakkinen's gone through. Oh, Irvine's gone through. So, he has to get held up slightly again for Hakkinen. So, are they going to be side by side? I think they're going to be side by side. Oh, no, it's just in behind. He would have easily been in front if it wasn't for being held up in the pits. Webber 5th, Raikkonen 6th, Ralf Schumacher 7th, De La Rosa 8th. He's still behind the arrows, and Frentzen is very close as well. Button is behind all these. Button made his pit stop. He's behind all these. Hakkinen's also behind all these, and he's trying to catch up. He's squirming down towards the chicane. Young also directly behind. Michael Schumacher 13th. Hill 14th. He's nowhere now. Barrichello 15th. Coulthard's already been lapped. He's nothing now. So currently a Renault 1-2. Fisichella leads and dives into the pits. So that will promote Lazy into the first position.
leader is entering the pits now.
And into his pit box. A change of all 4 tyres. Alazi leads the Canadian Grand Prix.
Moved into the lead.
Heitfeld goes past Irvine. Heitfeld's past Irvine. Heitfeld's in the net lead. Heitfeld has passed Irvine. There's the 2 Saubers. So Fisichella is going to come out ahead of the Sauber of Mark Webber. In 4th place. He's 4 seconds behind Irvine. That's worked out nicely for the Renault. Down into turns 3 and 4. Oh, hello! Heitfeld and De La Rose have come to terms. This has let everyone catch up. No damage between the 2 of them. Heitfeld, Irvine coming to blows. Fisichella's now directly behind. And the top 8 and top 9, 10 in fact, are pretty much on the well, apart from Alazi, they're pretty much on the same piece of circuit. There they are. Out in front. Leading by 8 seconds. They're still fighting, Heitfeld and Irvine. The 2 Rockies still fighting. Heitfeld still in front. Irvine goes over to the right. Look at this. There's a lot of cars here. And then look at the train. Irvine tries to go down the inside against chicane. You can't do that. These 2 are going to come to blows again. Look at that. That picture paints 1,000 words there. Everyone's right by each other. Second through to 12th, there's 11 cars right on the same piece of tarmac pretty much. Something's going to blow up, surely. But De La Rose is in front of Frentzen. Something's going to blow up. Someone has to. They're just fighting now, the Heitfeld and Irvine. I expected to see a BAR or a Jaguar in that wall there. They all have a 23-second lead over. Michael Schumacher's he has no idea what's going on in front. No idea, these guys. They're all just in the middle of nowhere because of their own kerfuffles. Coulthard's in this battle. He's just, languishing, just watching all this unfold. But we don't really care about Coulthard. We want to see that. It's remarkable. It's remarkable, to say the least. So Irvine's back in front of Heitfeld, in fact. Heitfeld goes down the inside of the chicane. Again, you can't do that. You cannot overtake there, surely. This is craziness to the extreme. Craziness to the extreme. Alazi has a 9-second lead over Irvine and Heitfeld. We're coming towards turns 3 and 4, the second chicane of the Canadian circuit. It's a very basic circuit, but very complex circuit. Round down towards 10-5. Is Heitfeld going to go driving the inside of Irvine? He's having a look. It's going to be a half-hearted effort, but he's not close enough. They've all survived. 7th, 8th, De La Rose, 9th, Frentzen, 10th, Button, 11th, Hakkinen, 12th, Young. Young being dropped a little bit from this pack. But it's amazing how, even though we're on that 14, and even though all these cars are on different strategies, they're all separated by pretty much 2 to 3 seconds. Irvine's still in front of Heitfeld. A lot drivers getting ready to go into the pits. These are the one-stoppers ready to go into the pits. Webber is at least one of them. I think Ralf Schumacher is another one that's going to go. Both going to dive into the pits this lap. Is this going to cause problems? I wouldn't have thought so. They're still trying to overtake each other. It's Raikkonen and not Webber going into the pits for the Sauber team. These are one-stoppers. These are going to fuel to the end. Into the pit box goes the arrows. They've all gone past. They have a 24-second cushion over Michael Schumacher. They should easily get out in front of him. The yellow pop goes around. Fjolho's still in. Away goes Ralf Schumacher. Webber's going to be away as well. He is in front of the arrows. Michael Schumacher's going through the final chicane now. And they're well out in front of Michael Schumacher. So 11th and 12th for Raikkonen and Ralf Schumacher. There's Raikkonen. They have 18 seconds Young. I think they're going to stay in 11th and 12th. It's going to be hard to come back from that. But an 8th. They've all been spread out slightly. Frentzen 7th. De La Rosa 6th. After leading for the start of the race for quite a while. Irvine still in front of Heidfeld. They're still very racy against each other. The net leaders at the moment. Alesi's getting away with this at the moment. He's still leading. Still not pitted yet. And if they get a kerfuffle still, they're going to... They're still trying to overtake at the final chicane. You can't overtake there. If they're going to keep on kerfuffling, they're going to... He's just going to extend the lead over and over again. 16 out of 26. Heidfeld's still trying to overtake Irvine. I'm expecting fireworks to happen between these two cars soon. Irvine second, a lazy 11 second lead over the pack. He's going to get out in clear air easily behind all these. Irvine second, Heidfeld. Heidfeld has clutched Irvine into a spin, and they're all traffic jamming behind each other. Frentzen has just turned into the Jaguar, and so has Hakkinen. And they're both being very, very tentative on the accelerator pedal. Irvine has lost everything. Hakkinen has lost everything. Frentzen inadvertently turned into them. Button in 6th. Sauber ready to go into the pits. De La Rosa in 5th. Webber 4th. Fisichella 3rd. And Lazy after all this is pitted. Heidfeld has a big advantage now. He's got no one around him. Lazy into the pits. Change of awful times. I don't actually know where. I don't think Alaze is going to be in clear air now. I told you fireworks are going to set off between them two. And everyone would be looking to even score points now. Alaze comes out. Young goes past. Webber is in the pits. Hakkinen's gone past. He's going to be in front of Hakkinen. He's got a little bit of clear air. Not much, but he's got a little bit of clear air. 3.5 seconds clear air. Ferrari ready. That's going to be for Michael Schumacher. Young 5th. Button 4th. They're very close to each other at the moment. Is Young going to send one? He's not. He's not close enough. Oh, look at that. Fisichella and De La Rosa right next to each other on track. These two have rivalries dating back. Heavy braking towards the chicane. Fisichella second in the Renault. Out in front still. Nick Heidfeld, 3.2 seconds the lead for the BAR driver. There is Nick Heidfeld. First for Heidfeld. Going down the back straight. De La Rosa second. De La Rosa's past Fisichella. De La Rosa up into second. Fisichella third. Fisichella still going to try. Is going to try and overtake. Button's still got pressure from Young. Fisichella tries an overtake at the final chicane. Young has sent one. Nothing there happening. Down to the first chicane. They're still battling the Jaguar. Irvine. Obviously riled up from everything. That is Ralf Schumacher in between the Saubers. List of retirements now is I'll tell you what though. It's been one of the more entertaining Canadian Grand Prix. The previous Canadian Grand Prix have been boring. This one's been very scrappy, but America was slightly boring, but I think this is slightly made up for it. We had 3 fantastic races. I think we can allow America to slide a little bit. Down the pitch straight they go for the 17th time. Teams ready to go into the pits. Delarose and Fisichella, they're scrapping now, but they've actually caught up significantly to Nick Heidfeld. Button's 4th. They've dropped Young. Young might be getting first points for Minardi this season. Irvine is still scrapping, but it's this time with Jean Alesi. They're not even on the same. Irvine hasn't pitted yet. Alesi has. Ralf Schumacher up into 8th place. He has passed the 2 Saubers and might pose a threat to Irvine. Irvine has. It's Irvine. I think Irvine's overtaken Alesi. That's why he's pulling away significantly. Young 5th. He's going to be ahead of Ralf Schumacher, I reckon, in 7th. Jaguar ready. These 3 are still scrapping. De La Rosa and Young both go to dive into the pits this lap. Going down towards the pit lane. Fisichella brakes for the final chicane. De La Rosa goes into the pits, and so does Young. Lap 19 out of 26. We've got 7 laps to go after this. Both goes into the pits at the same time. That's the gap. Past goes. I don't even know. Oh, that's the back marker. Irvine, Alesi. They're both out at the same time. Obviously, they've put in enough fuel. Jordan ready in the pits. That's going to be for Hill. And away they go. 6th and 7th. De La Rosa and Young. You can't even see Ralf Schumacher on the page. Away he goes. Alesi 5th. Irvine has pulled up a 2nd lead. Irvine's come up towards the back of Coulthard. Button's 3rd. That is the exact reason why De La Rosa pitted, because they're coming up towards the back marker of Michael Schumacher. Heidfeld in the lead. He's come up to the back marker. I don't know how well Michael Schumacher is going to let these past. I think he's slightly too far away to let past at the moment. He's going to send on the inside. He is. Is he going to make that move stick, or Michael Schumacher cuts the chicane slightly? He's not. He's not helping his German counterpart out. Michael Schumacher will let him pass now. So Fisichella's now going to have the problem of trying to pass Michael Schumacher, whilst Heidfeld can just clean drive away. Michael Schumacher goes over to the right. Not past Fisichella. Button's 3rd. I think we're about to get a little bit scrappy here. Is Fisichella going to send one down the inside of Michael Schumacher? They both jinked left. I think Michael Schumacher wanted to let him pass. I think Michael Schumacher is now going to let him pass down the straight. Fisichella's wiggling a lot. I don't think Button's going to be able to get past him here. I think you're going to have to wait till the hairpin. Get close to the curve there. Now here comes the hairpin. Michael Schumacher going to let him pass. No, he isn't, is he? He's not. Oh, he's down the inside of Schumacher. No, he's not. Now he lets him pass. That's 2.5 seconds lost to Fisichella. Fisichella's also lost time to Heidfeld. Not that it matters too much. Both Fisichella and Button both pit from 2nd and 3rd place respectively. I think Irvine's pitting this lap as well. He is currently in fourth. Irvine's the only one with question marks over him about where he's going to end up. These two are going to end up in fourth and fifth. Third and fourth. Fisichella's already away. Phil Ho's out. Out goes Button. It's going to... Oh, hang on. Hold on. Fisichella is just behind De La Rosa, so it's fourth and fifth. That is De La Rosa in third. So we've got Irvine in the pits. De La Rosa's managed to get out in front of Fisichella. So interesting. Fisichella fourth. It's going to send one down the inside. De La Rosa, nothing. BAR ready. So Alazy is in a very good position to win the race. Heifeld leads in the BAR. He's 16 seconds in front of Alazy. That's not enough. That is not enough for Heifeld. But he'll be happy with 8 points, especially after his pointless start to the season.
Heifeld, the race leader, is entering the pits now.
Heifeld into the pits. 80 kilometers an hour down this pit lane. That is a back marker. That is another back marker. Alazy is coming down, going to be coming down the pit lane now. Away goes Heifeld. The rest of the field behind. Top 6, Alazy, Heifeld, De La Rosa, Fisichella, Button, Young. 7th, Irvine. 8th place, Webber. 9th place, Ralf Schumacher. 10th place, Raikkonen. 11th place, Hakkinen. 12th, Frentzen. Top 12 separated by 26 seconds after the top, after 11 cars. Oh, that's going to end in disaster. No, it isn't. They've managed to keep it on the track. Don't know who's 13th. Remember when second to 12th was separated by 3 seconds? Schumacher's in 13th, 48 seconds behind the leader now after being lapped. In fact, I don't think that was Schumacher. I think that was Barrichello. I've been saying it was Schumacher. That was Barrichello. I forgot Barrichello was still in the race. I thought Barrichello had retired. Ralf Schumacher goes down. No. Ralf Schumacher and the two Saubers have been fighting all race. Hakkinen's behind. I don't think Hakkinen's going to be scoring. Frenzen's in 12th. He's definitely not scoring. And then Schumacher and Hill are well behind. Barrichello also well behind. Pretty much the laughing stock of the whole thing. Coulthard directly behind though. Out in front though. Jean Alazy. How much longer though? Heifeld is closing in on the Renault. Significantly closing in on the Renault. Heifeld second, third. Fisichella, Renault first and third. Looking to stamp their authorities on the season. But De La Rosa may not let that happen. De La Rosa down the inside. Turns 5, 6 and 7. Round down towards turn 8 and 9. You can see the big glass sphere to the left of you, built for Expo 67 here at Montreal. Fisichella third. Montreal in the state of Quebec, the only part of Canada that speak French. And De La Rosa is saying merci to Fisichella as he climbs into third place. The Spaniard versus the Italian with the Brit behind. Young, the Malaysian, you can see in the background. I don't think this battle's over though. I think this battle's going to rage on until lap 26. Starting lap 24 now of 26. 3 laps to go in the Canadian Grand Prix. De La Rosa third, Fisichella fourth. Alazy out in front, Heifeld second. Sorry, we're on lap 25 out of 26. There's only 2 laps to go. Button dropped slightly, but I think he's just going to lean back and see what comes of this, because I think Fisichella is going to send one down the inside of De La Rosa. Is this going to be clean racing between the two of them? It is. No half-hearted efforts here, unlike in the battle between Heitfeld and Irvine. Young 6th, Irvine 7th, Ralph Schumacher back up into 8th place for the Arrows. Webber looking racy in 9th. Webber going to send one down the inside of the chicane. They're actually learning to drive properly around the chicane. Hakkinen in 11th. Frenson 3.5 seconds behind in 12th. He is not scoring anything this race. Hill 14th. Coulthard in 15th. He's making a pit stop. Barrichello 16th. He is not going to be making a pit stop. Lazy leads through the chicane. In fact, that was why Lazy was going so slow. He's got Heitfeld right by him. There's going to be a final lap shootout between John Lazy and Nick Heitfeld. 1 versus 2 stop. Heitfeld, half-hearted effort, not going to make an overtake there. Fisichella's overtaken De La Rosa at some point. Accelerating down towards turns 3 and 4. You have to set this one up perfectly to try and do one down turn 6. Rounds turn 5, turn 6. Little lift there. It's going to be a half-hearted attempt. They touch. No spins there. They touch. Heitfeld went up in the air slightly. A Lazy still leads. Down towards turns 8 and 9. You brake at the shadow. Touch the grass a little bit. Heitfeld. They're fine. Round down towards the hairpin, the last proper overtaking spot. Heitfeld has to send one down the inside. Is a Lazy going to? He's not. Heitfeld side by side. He's taken a race lead off of Jean Lazy, and that is it's a double trouble for Renault. They both lost a place at the hairpin, which will mean, unless by some miracle and there's nothing. It's too late. Nick Heitfeld wins his first ever Grand Prix here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Lazy finishes in 2nd place. De La Rosa 3rd, Fisichella 4th, Burton 5th. Young scores the first points for Minardi this season, meaning that Ferrari are the only pointless team. Irvine finishes in 7th place for Jaguar. A little bit of time until 8th place comes along. It's Webber 8th, Ralph Schumacher 9th, Raikkonen 10th, Hakkinen 11th, Frenson 12th. So, Arrows are pointless, McLaren are pointless, Ferrari are pointless, Toyota are pointless. Schumacher finishes in 13th. That will please the sponsors. Hill 14th. 15th place will be Barrichello. 16th place Coulthard. That was a rather enjoyable experience. As we go towards into the pits they go. Into Parc Ferme. Classified results here for the Canadian Grand Prix. I think there was only one proper retirement. All the rest of them were accidents. As we go down the list of drivers, I can't remember who did the fastest lap. I believe unless things have changed, it was Heitfeld. I'm not too sure. Raikkonen was nowhere. He didn't do much overtaking, did Raikkonen? Hakkinen. I thought he was going to score Hakkinen, but obviously now Frentzen got into trouble. Schumacher got into trouble. Hill also got into trouble. He was just nowhere after pitting on lap 4. Barrichello was for no fault of his own. Coulthard deserves to be last. Let's be honest. Alonso retired. Montoya retired. Bertie and Takagi all retired on that one. Thank you very much for watching the Canadian Grand Prix. It was high flow the fastest lap. We will go to Brazil next. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye!